Good morning, Abundant Life Church. This is Pastor Chris. Today we're going to wrap up our study on Romans chapter 10, verses 5 to 13. We've been talking about why a system of coming to God through faith in Jesus is better than a system of trying to come to God through keeping the law. Well, we've talked about the idea that faith is better because it's God coming to us. We don't have to try and get to Him. And number two, it's better because it's for everybody. But there's a third reason. And to put it simply, faith does what the law cannot do. All right. So far, we've seen that faith is a better system than self righteousness. Again, under faith, we don't have to try to get to God, and it's for everybody. But here's the thing. Trying to get to God through the law doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. It was never designed to work. I remember as a kid, the old TV show Batman, Adam West, the original one. It was so corny, it was so silly. I still to this day love that show. But the one part of that show that was not corny or silly was the Batmobile. There is nobody around that will not admit the Batmobile was cool. Every kid growing up thought to themselves, when I get old enough, the car that I'm getting, the Batmobile. It just looked amazing. Here's the thing. When you do get old enough to buy a car and you realize you can't afford the Batmobile, the car you can afford doesn't look cool. My first car was a 69 VW Bug. It had no reverse. I had to stick my foot out and push, and pretty soon first gear was gone. So yeah, that car was falling apart, but it was still better than the Batmobile. Why? A very simple reason. My car had something the Batmobile didn't have. It didn't have an engine. The Batmobile didn't have an engine. They had to tow it wherever they took it. Every scene you see, the car is being towed every time. Batmobile didn't work. That's what the law was like. The law didn't work. See, the thing is, the Batmobile wasn't designed to work. It was designed to look cool. So they didn't put an engine in it. The law was never designed to save you. That was never the purpose of the law. God's intention wasn't to give the Jews the law so that they could be saved. That was going to happen with Jesus. The law was just basically, hey, don't eat that kind of food. Why? Well, it's bad for you. Hey, stay away from those pagan religions. Why? They're bad for you. The whole point of faith is not to behave. The whole point of the law is, let me start this over. The point of the law is to behave. That's not the point of faith. What's the point of faith? It's to have a relationship with God. It's to be saved and to be in fellowship with God. And self-righteousness cannot do that. It's not designed to do that. If the goal of fellow is to be in fellowship with God, we can try as hard as we want to reach God by being good. That's the law. That's works righteousness. But that system just doesn't work because at what point can you say, all right, I've done enough? I've earned my place. God owes me heaven now. That's how good I've been. That system just doesn't work. It's time to stop pretending that it does. I have two sons. Now, if one of my sons works his tail off and just achieves a lot and then comes to me and says, there, now can I have your last name? It was already given to you. You don't work for my last name. Just like my father gave it to me and his father gave it to him. It's given to you. Your work doesn't define who you are. That's a gift from your father. And if you try to work for it, you've missed the whole point. God didn't make us with the intention that, okay, here's a system. Let me back up again. God didn't give us Jesus with the intention that, okay, this will make you behave. That was the law. It really didn't make people behave, did it? It couldn't get us to behave. It couldn't get us back into a fellowship with God. We need a system that will work. Someone whose be all and end all of their religion is to say that they have good behavior just doesn't get it. If you're following Jesus so you can tell people about all the sins you don't commit, you're missing something really important. God gave us Jesus so we could have fellowship with him, so we could be his people, so we could be his children. He gives us Jesus to save us, to follow us, and to enjoy that fellowship with us. That's why this system is so much better. One more time, remember, God made us to enjoy fellowship with us. And that's exactly what faith does for us. And that's why it's better. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.